Ladies and gentlemen, once again, we are back. Oh man, I know, and everybody can't wait for us to get right back into it, because this session the last session ended pretty heated, but I mean, I'm sure we helped so many, and that's all we are here to do on Counsel Culture. You know, we feel together so we can reveal together, so we can heal together, and I'm joined by the highest class of civilization, the illustrious Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, and she is seasoned. I mean, she's been doing this work for over 17 years and well decorated. You may have seen her on, everywhere from MTV to, doing activism work in our community. She has her own street named after her. She's president of her chapter, the NAACP. So she don't just talk the talk, she truly walks the walk. And on our last session, so welcome back. In our last session, we ended.
We learned emotional intelligence.
We did. We were talking, and I felt like we dealt with each other in a very respectful manner.
Absolutely.
And we didn't flee. We stood on business toe to toe. But we definitely agreed to disagree on a few things. And I think even as a black man and as a black woman, even though this space is specifically to help encourage black men to be able to feel and reveal and have emotional intelligence, I feel like we'd be remiss if we didn't talk about the black woman and her experience. And because, especially like I've caught so much flack over the years, just in my dealings. I've heard everything that I don't like black women. I only like a certain style of black women if they are black women, because I have, multiple mothers of my children, that I need to settle down with one black woman, and being a successful black man, I'm a poor representation and an example to the other black men. I've heard it all. But in agreeing with Malcolm X, and even as I look at from my mother to my daughter, I do believe that the black woman is the most underappreciated, disrespected, disowned, and undervalued species that we have on this planet. And it saddens me, it hurts me that I even have participated in that narrative, if at any point that I feel like, oh man, I should have upheld our black women in a better way, even in my choices and in my actions. But like I said, we are a work in progress. I'm growing, I'm learning, I'm trying to understand. And that's why I want to hear from a black woman. And even I'm careful to even say, I want to say a strong black woman, but I've heard you can't say that no more. I heard you can't, because black women tired of being strong. So I really want to give the opportunity and all the respect to hear from you, and not that you're going to speak for all black women, but you are a professional and, have been a black woman all your life, to say,
I think so.
Yeah, like what is it? Like where did we go wrong? In how we deal with our black women, how we care for our black women, and what is that experience? And I just need some counsel on that, and how to operate in this space.
Yeah, great, just great question and dialogue. So I speak for myself as a black woman, again, not for all black women. My experience is, as a black woman, I have not been the most disrespected, and I have not been the most ridiculed, and I have not been the least accepted. And I have not been inferior when I walk in rooms, and I have not been looked down upon when I walk in rooms or when I'm at the tables.
I think we're just talking about over history, like how.
Yeah, but I think what happens is, over history, we want to go that route. I think we bottle black women being, it's an accountability issue again, black women being ridiculed or at the bottom of the totem pole, or mostly disrespected.
They're definitely the least to be married and, and have healthy relationships is black women and Asian men, which I think they should get together.
They should get together, right? That makes some
beautiful babies.
So let me touch on a couple things first. Let me touch on...
Yeah, Jerry, shout out Jerry. Right? He's single, Doc.
but is he high functioning though? Are you high functioning?
He's brilliant in the motherfucker. He set up all this stuff.
Are you high functioning? All right, let's do this. But I want to hit on, I want to go back to me personally as a black woman, then I'll go to the umbrella. As president of NAACP, when I walk in the boardroom with our chief of police of Los Angeles Police Department, I'm highly respected by him. When I'm working next to our elected officials, our state senators, our city councilman, our mayor, who is now a Black woman, I'm highly respected. When I call their office to call a meeting because we need something in our community, my call is a high priority and it's highly respected. Our chief of police is a white man, Michael Moore, who's retiring. I'm highly respected by him. We have a great relationship. And so what I'm saying is that whether it's a white man, a Black man, a man of color, a Black woman, a white woman, a woman of color, for my experience, I have not been disrespected. Have I had some, fall-ins? Of course, that's life. As a blanket, when we talk about Black women in general being, for one, we're not the lowest on the totem pole. If you want to know how it goes, I can tell you, and y'all can Google this, but it goes white men, just so you know. It goes Black women, then it goes Black men, and then it goes white women when it comes to the societal respect of the totem pole. Y'all can Google it. So
and
we're not
many others as well.
Many others. But
we're just
right,
talking
but we're
about
not the
in the
bottom.
hierarchy
But
of America.
what happens is, within the Black community, the Black woman is the least respected. Within the world, we are not. And so when we dissipate it to the Black community, and a Black woman allows herself to embody the respect or the disrespect, I should say, that she's felt from her counterpartner, Black man, not all, Black man or brother, then yeah, she may feel like she's inferior or she's not respected. But if she goes into this big, beautiful world where they would rather hire us than hire you guys, where we are taking over politics, where we are women who are rising in our social class. We are women who are homeowners before Black men are homeowners. This is not a competition thing. We're just speaking for the sake of this conversation, this question.
Right.
We are not. We are highly respected. When you look at sports and athletes, you have Black men and you have Black women who are doing it. Sha'Carri Richardson just signed a $22 million deal with Nike endorsement. I mean, I don't know, LeBron and Kobe, they Black men, they up there with them endorsements. So what I'm saying is we are not the most disrespected species per se on earth. Maybe within the Black community we are, but that's also an accountability issue of not just Black men, but Black women figuring out, like you and I were doing in our last session,
right.
How do we communicate from a place of deliverance and not dismissal? And when I say dismissal, not just dismissing each other's difference in opinions,
right.
but dismissing you and leaving because I'm too weak. My emotional intelligence is too freaking low. I'm too low functioning to sit in my emotions with your emotions so we can process through this emotion and produce a resolution. There's nothing in life that you won't have to feel your way through, whether it's good or bad emotions. Emotions are a part of being human. And as long as you're human, you're gonna have emotions, and you gotta learn to sit in both emotions, even when the seat is hot.
Right.
And that's the only way that you and I, as Black men and Black women, can get to a place of the safe space of resolve. If we never get the experience of feeling what we feel and landing on resolve, how do we create that new norm, Nick, if we always fleeing?
So to that point, and I stand corrected if we're speaking in general in its current state, because I think you're speaking from a place of empowerment. Right. You're speaking from a place of when you walk in the room, demanding and commanding.
More of a command, not demand. I don't want to
sure
demand anything.
Yeah, making sure the respect is there.
But can I ask you this? Where does commanding come from?
I mean, from who you are. So in that sense of, like, again, I agree with you. I'm going all the way back to the Black woman created civilization. Like, you know what I mean? We all come from the Black woman, and to know that power, I was just actually trying to acquiesce, to say, look, guilty is charged. But let's keep it a stack and keep it where it is. And I mean, maybe you have an answer for it, maybe you don't. Whatever the scenario is, right. With all the respect when you walk in the room, with all the beauty, with all the power, why is it that Black women are at the bottom when it comes to
marriage?
To marriage. Why aren't Black women getting married at the same rate as all the other women?
I love that. I love that question. For one, most Black women want you guys. We want Black men. So unlike you all, we're not.
He's gonna blame it on us.
Yes, y'all fault. Yeah, but we're not always. Let me say this: we haven't always been willing. A lot of us are more now starting to be okay with the pivot, but we haven't always been open to dating outside of a black man. For the black woman, the healthy ideology of a husband and a family is a black woman with a black man and these beautiful black babies. And so when we are at an all-time rise with the high functioning, with education, with societal constructs, with trends, everything you can think of, even when it comes to just how we carry ourselves, that commandingness that we have, right? If I'm walking in and I command a certain presence because my presence does that, and I have a black man that walks in with inferiority, we're not equally yoked. And that can dissipate or demise even what I'm doing in that room. And so again, black women have not always been open to dating outside of you guys. Why? Because we do love our black men. We love not just the fact that you guys are fine and handsome and have charisma and have all these other things. We enjoy everything about a black man. I know because I'm a black woman. And so to transition from black man to any other man, doesn't matter if it's a white man, any man outside of being black, that has been a hard transition for us. But the women who are becoming open to it are marrying. And let me say this, I think the bigger question isn't why aren't black women marrying or why aren't they marrying quicker or earlier? I think the bigger question is why are the women who are marrying so early, marrying so soon, only to become a divorcee or a baby mama? And when you look at it like changing the perception of a woman having to be married early, only to become a divorcee, only to become a baby mama, and you look at statistically, it shows the women and men who marry later on in life, once they have some functioning, some emotional intelligence, some tools, that marriage is actually not just successful by longevity, it's successful by actual compatibility and actual likability and actual happiness. And so a healthy relationship isn't because, see, I don't want to hear you been with your wife for 13 years, but y'all been miserable for 12. To me, that's not a marriage. To me, that is an agreement for you guys to trauma bond on your inadequacy so you could say that you got someone who wants you because you got not feeling desirable issues. That's a trauma bond. But if we're in matrimony, and I can say out of 15 years, 80% of the time, I'm happy with this man. That 20%, it may just be the things that I know he does I don't like, but I got to be okay with that because he's not perfect. That is a healthy marriage.
Right. See, so I was leading a little bit with the question just because I actually have, issues with the institution of marriage in general, the way that it's set up in society. But and to me, it's like, in layman's terms, marriage ain't for everybody. Right. And especially like that, a marriage isn't going to make you happy, but we have trained and programmed all of our young women that the only way that you will become happy and successful in your life is that you have to find a good man. Now, as a father, I try not to teach that to my daughters. Like, if you want to get married, go for it, but you don't have to. You can still rule the world and be the queen that you want to be without being married. And, a man's never going to complete you or make you your happiness is in another individual. So as a father, that's what I'm, and I'm trying to give my daughters all the game and all the shit I done ran on people. I'm like, don't fall for this because daddy done ran this on them.
Right.
So
and this is the result of that.
And we'll see. We'll see how it turns out. But again, I can only speak from the perspective of a male to where it's like, all right, if I see that these are the statistics and this is where we are, and I mean, I got to accept that. And like, as when I asked the question, you threw it back on us as black men. And, I'm pretty sure some people are going to have, some debates about that. But it's a valid point that if a black woman desires a black man and there aren't enough black men available,
then we waiting a little longer. If we choose to wait for you guys,
or you might have to share.
Or we may go outside.
You might have to share.
We may go outside. We may go outside. No.
He might.
See, he's talking.
Keisha on Wednesday.
He's talking to the low functioning woman again. He's talking to the low functioning woman again. Go on and share your man, sis.
First of all, there's this thing called tribalism that we all come from.
He's talking to the low functioning woman again.
If you understand a great man in an African tribe.
High functioning women, y'all ain't even entertaining this. High functioning women, baby, if you gotta wait.
If he can provide for the tribe, go for it and make your kingdom strong.
He's not. You're not. You're overcompensating with all these baby mamas for something that you're missing.
What is it? What am I missing?
Because that's for us to dialogue on.
I'm here. I'm on your couch.
I gotta penetrate.
See, stop using that word. I've never been penetrated. For the record,
okay? But
I'm a virgin.
Listen, the more that we need the more that we need. Did you hear what I just said?
Okay, you dropping bars. Y'all hear that? The more that we need, the more that we need. I understand that. I'm just saying because I'm trying to act as I got all this, the abundance. I actually say, it's always like the access to excess. Like when you have the, I can have this and therefore I still feel empty. I get that. I can accept that. I have no problem.
But what are you overcompensating for?
I don't know, because I'm very happy with my life. I'm very happy with how I move and how I function. A lot of people have told me, "Oh, you're not happy." Like, I'm genuinely happy.
I believe you.
So I don't feel that there's not an emptiness. If anything, there's an abundance of love. There's an abundance of activity.
But that is the cover up. You're happy because
we all have wounded childhoods.
No, but you're happy because you've learned how to survive in this dysfunction.
And I'm thriving.
But thriving isn't a dollar amount. Thriving isn't.
Because I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about genuinely waking up happy with life. I feel like I've won in life. Okay. And therefore, so much I want to do for others.
So tell me in what ways you feel you've won in life.
Because I have the ability to wake up and be with so much gratitude and knowing that I'm on assignment and whatever is thrown at me, that I can handle it in a way that not only can I handle it for myself, I can actually encourage and help others, even through my decisions or downfalls or whatever. I'm always going to thrive. There's no situation that you can throw at me that I can't handle. And I'm that individual for people. I'm a generator. You can plug into me at any point in time and you're gonna feel electricity. So in that form, I'm superhuman. Now, some people may call my superhuman abilities narcissism, but I'm not even going to tap into that right now. I believe I am a high-functioning, high-valued individual who operates on a high frequency at every point of the day. So even no matter what you throw at me, I'm never going to let you control. I'm never going to let you make me feel a way because I know who I am and I know whose I am. So in that process, you take every dollar away from me. You could put me in the middle of the desert with no drawers on, and I'm gonna make sure that I come out with a kingdom. It's just like it doesn't matter where I'm thrown. I'm gonna increase the value of where I'm placed, and I'm also going to make sure that it's a good time. I'm gonna make sure that we're gonna smile, we're gonna enjoy, and we're gonna be grateful for this process of this human experience. So, and I haven't always been that way, but I know I've reached to the ability to be like, okay, you can say what you want to say about me. You can say what you want to say about the choices I've made in life. You can, I read the comments, I see the articles, and I know my name is going to be spoken in more rooms than I can ever walk in. Yeah. And I see that as value, totally. So even in that sense, we'll go a little bit deeper, but I've also, whether it's the way that I grew up to the life experiences when you come from the mud, walking in the dirt is easy.
That's the mindset that we need to be counseling the culture on. Hold on,
Tell me why. When you come from nothing.
Hold on, because when you come from the mud,
right,
then let's just survive how to walk in the dirt. No, Nick. We're not selling that.
When I come from the mud, those are the stripes of look what I made it from.
You come from the mud. So you can take that mud and make great soil.
Absolutely.
So you can build on that so you're not
100%.
walking on dirt no more. So we're not going to say because we came from the mud, let's learn how to survive in the dirt. We are not telling our community
I'm saying that's an additive to that.
No.
I'm saying to when you come from it and you thrive out of it.
When you come from the mud,
you could
get the tools, get the
take the
help
pride
to
from
take
what I
that
came
mud
from.
and make it good soil, because mud is not good soil. And when you make it good soil,
I agree.
then you go further to get the tools to plant.
But you still came from. You can't deny what you came from.
So what you plant becomes fruitful and multiplies in a healthy harvest. We're not planting in the mud because we learn how to survive in the dirt, and now all we got is harvest. Hold on. Harvest that's good because it's good in the fact that I could wake up and I can make sure that I'm grateful for the things that I've learned to survive in, and I have all these beautiful women who are great mothers to my kids, and I have all this love around me that I've created, and when I go into rooms, they talking about me good or bad. No, we're talking about fruitfulness that fulfills you at the core of who you are as a man, that has nothing to do with all the things that you name. And I love you. I'm not fussing at you. Hold on, because you're overcompensating. You're overcompensating for something you're not missing, and I'm not beating you up. It's not. Let me say this.
Which is what?
And it doesn't make your decisions bad or good. I want to say that. No bad or good decisions. Every decision we make for ourselves is a damn good one. If we made it.
We made it.
It's about us figuring out What did that decision harvest, so we understand if that's something we want to plan again? 2, if it did harvest something good, but it's still something missing, then where do we overcompensate at? Where's the vine going for the overcompensation so that we figure out how we get that fulfillment and we don't
100%.
continue to project that emptiness onto all of our decisions and people involved in it? Because all we are is little self-projectors. That's all we are. And even as a father to these beautiful kids, the only thing you will project onto them is everything you have to give. If you are 7 Up and your baby comes and says, Daddy, I want Dr. Pepper, it don't matter how much you pour into that baby's bottle, it's going to get 7 Up. You get what I'm saying? And so it is our responsibility as parents. I'm not a parent yet, but I am definitely a leader, even if I didn't have my titles. It's my responsibility as a Black woman to make sure that when people plug into me, to use your metaphor, which I love, or sip on me, that they're not getting Coca-Cola all the time and it is manifesting into diabetes, something unhealthy. That when they plug into me, they can get deliverance. That when they plug into me, I have done the work for myself so that I can give the things that I consume myself with. If I overcompensate by marrying all these men or having all these babies or having to date men, like you were saying earlier, to validate me, then I will be also giving that to anyone who plugs into me, including you. So no one's exempt from that. So I have to make sure that even when Nick plugs into me on this platform, that I'm able to come as a wholesome Black woman who can give him what he needs, as far as, you hate penetration, but as far as hitting where he needs to be hit to understand his sense of self, but also knowing that I'm not here to tear you apart. I'm here to empower you by giving you missing pieces that maybe you didn't know that didn't exist, if that makes sense.
Oh no, it's all healthy.
Right.
It's like, it's healthy in the sense of
But
where.
what do you believe you're over? If you had to choose something, what would you say you're overcompensating for? If you had to just make up something, choose something, what comes up for you?
I'm gonna think deeply on this. I don't.
Just name something. If you had to name something, what would it be? What do you think most men overcompensate for the lack of? Let's go general then. As a Black man, what would you say?
We said this in the last session. Control
Of?
Their household, their experience. I mean, that's what, like.
So is it a conquering thing?
No, it's more just like, I want to be able to be the free me in every space that I walk in. Because you got to think, the majority of Black men, wherever they go, every room they step in, people automatically clench up. They scared.
Incarcerate them.
They're like, oh, you know, I gotta whatever.
So what do you
I
think
have a
that's
preconceived
about?
notion about who he is, what he's been through, and all of that.
So what is that about?
That's their issue.
But what do you think that would? Oh, the people's who's incarcerating that. Okay.
Yeah, but as a Black man, we're intimidating. So therefore, in that sense, everywhere I maneuver, I want to make sure I control the room. I control the energy.
But what payoff do you get by controlling the room?
Because then I can bring peace to it.
How can you bring peace to a room that you control?
Because if everybody
unless
already
everyone in there is under your control, which means they have to be low functioning.
That doesn't mean that, because
Yes,
we can all be. There could be equanimity. We can actually
Nick,
all be on the same page.
Because if you come bringing peace,
yeah,
and I am high functioning, I'm already gonna come bringing peace. So hold on, guess what?
We're on the same page.
So you don't have to control me. Wait.
I know. You just said if I was
right?
overcompensating for something.
Right. So it's the
I
control
would say it'd be
piece.
the idea of it. I would want to make sure that I have as much. And again, I can only speak for myself, but I understand the Black man's plight of when someone else tries to tell me what to do, or because then it's it's even. Maybe I'll take away the word control and insert a better word, is respect.
Okay.
Because in that same sense, in the same way the Black woman has been disrespected, the Black man has continued to be disrespected.
Absolutely.
So therefore, if you're not respecting me and you see me as an object, or you see me as property, or you see me as a threat or an uncontrollable animal, then therefore I need to control this situation and demand and command.
So let me bring it back to you. What in you, what in your law of attraction, what in your calibration would even, or has been, or does, or has, attracts women who would disrespect you? Wait a minute, well, you have to control them.
That's
so
how
that
their mama raised them. They
there.
got nothing to do with me.
No.
I mean, at the end of the day, first of all, I don't believe I don't attract women who disrespect me.
Okay.
Me personally.
So
I don't interact.
Okay.
If you don't, I'm not going to give you the opportunity to disrespect.
I love that. Okay, so the need to control for the result of respect is there for what?
Well, you asked me what I was overcompensating
Right, you're
for. I
saying
don't
control.
necessarily believe I'm overcompensating for something, but if I had to dig deep and think about, and then you asked me about black men in general, I think the first thing we want more than love,
Let me ask you
we
deeper.
want respect.
Respect. But let me ask you this. Why would you rather choose a woman that you have to control? Let me finish my question. That you have to control to get the peace of mind, the respect. I don't care what it is. Let's say the list of things. It doesn't matter what the list is. We all have our list. Why would you choose a woman you have to control?
Let's stop using control, because then that's going to get into let's start.
Well, control is not a bad word, though. You already said control.
No, because then that sounds like he's controlling.
Let me say this. What you said,
I said the thing, if I had,
You didn't say you're abusive.
I like
you
to
just
control
said
the room. I don't have to control the individual.
Nick, let me say
I want to control the energy.
But control's not bad. Let me say this. I'm not abusive, but I can be controlling.
Right.
And does it turn me on or does it give me a payoff? You damn right it does. So what I'm saying, but I have a sense of self enough to say, yeah, Nick, I know in a relationship or even just in a setting that I can come off or be a bit controlling. And does it do something for me? Yeah, for some reason it aligns me.
There's some endorphins that are released when that happens.
Right. So I don't have to blame it on respect. I'm saying, yeah, me as a black woman can be a bit controlling. I'm not abusive.
To the root of it, the reason why we want it, and like you said, we get into the little boy, the internet, is we want respect.
So let me go back to my question. Why, right? Listen, not why the respect, babe. Listen, why would you want to have a plethora of women you have to control? Wait a minute, hold on. Control to get them to show up in a way that you need them to show up so you can be who you want to be versus women, whatever you want, a plethora of women or women who are high functioning enough to bring to the table what you already need. This is what I'm saying. There is difference in functioning.
Yeah.
And so just answer that question.
I
why?
will. Let me.
And I know because I've been there. I've been where you were.
No, because I'm going to peel it back. And again, as we're even already, this session done flew by already. We don't have to, maybe we'll deal with it more in the next session.
Yeah.
But I would have to disagree with you just from the ideas of my experiences have nothing to do with overcompensation. Okay. But just to, entertain and even go along with what you said, my yearning for respect is ancestral. It's an experience. It's me witnessing how people treated my dad. It's witnessing how people treated my grandfather, how people treated his father.
So it's learned behavior.
So 100%, but because it's a common fact that we were fighting to be human. Right. The buck mentality is a real experience where our fathers were placed on auction blocks to say so therefore even in those settings, and not always to take it back to slavery or whatever, because I like to talk about beyond that, even as in our tribes, it's still about who's the strongest, who's the mentally most powerful, and who can provide the best, who can protect the best. That's just man shit. Okay. So therefore, I'm operating in my full masculinity when I can walk into any room and have those. Now, and then it's not about the amount.
No, I was just saying 1 or 5.
Yeah.
But my question was,
because I can do that with one woman, and I can do that with 7.
Why would you want to choose the woman you have to control to get what you need from her versus the woman who you don't?
I didn't say that.
Okay, not control. Choose a woman that you have to have a certain command of respect versus a woman who just comes with the respect. That's high functioning and low functioning. There's a difference.
I think you can have all of that. I think it's just my experience, because you asked me what do I feel like, why do I make the decisions? I think at the core of everything, we just want to be respected and appreciated, and therefore those things, respect and appreciation, taps into the legacy in which we're building.
Let me go back really quick. I know we're wrapping, but fleeing is a form of control, sweetie. In case you didn't know that.
I know that. I do it well.
We don't have to use the word control.
When I leave the room, the argument is over.
Okay.
I'm out.
So, there you go, baby. See? So what I'm saying is we don't have to use the word control, but we can go off behaviors that say control. So it doesn't make a difference. If I flee,
I know I have
it's
control
because
issues.
I'm
I am a control freak.
Okay, so then Own that. Who cares?
I'm
Own that.
it.
We ain't gotta
Yeah.
say respect for control. And let me say this.
I was just trying to clean it up because I know in the comments they're gonna be saying, he controlling, he toxic.
He controlling.
That's that toxic masculinity.
Hey, look,
he want to control them. And you keep throwing it at me, just giving them all the fire they need.
Yeah, because we gonna keep it real. We're gonna keep it real. Are you toxic? Yes. Do I have some toxicity? Heck yes. Are you controlling? You're definitely controlling. You're fleeing. You're controlling.
I'm passive aggressive though.
You're definitely controlling.
I don't yell.
But let me say this: what you're
I'm gonna let you make your own
overcompensating
decisions
for,
and still mastermind it.
What you're overcompensating for is exactly what you think you have. Can I go there?
Please.
Which is you're overcompensating with, you hate the word, but I'm going to use it, with the control of, even if it's an environment, not the woman. I don't care if you're controlling a damn plant, Nick, okay? The control over a bird, a land, a plant, a human, I don't care what it is you overcompensating for the lack of control you have within yourself. Because if you have the control within yourself, then fleeing would not be an issue. Emotional intelligence would be high and ego would be low, and the conversation will go different. So who you're really looking to conquer is you. Who you're really looking to control and govern is you. And so you're overcompensating because you ain't did it with yourself. But once you gain that within yourself, I promise you'll see the need to control anything dissipate. Because as you walk in and you command, everything, the table will move to align with you. You won't have to sit at the head. That's what self-governing does. That's what self-control does. It dissipates the need to project that onto other people. And you'll see that magically shit just moves directly the way you need it to when you're not having to do this. Because usually it's not about how we move and control things that needs to be done. It's about how can we sit in it while the plan is in my way. Nick is right here. I got an obstacle here. How do I maneuver this instead of having to move it? See, a person who was really a person of ability, a person of high intellect, of high functioning says, I don't need nothing to be moved. Because I know how to, I can thrive right here when nothing's moved. Hold on. I can get by and get to this room without having to move the plan. Don't worry about it, Nick. I got this. But if I say move this and move that and get this done, not saying you're saying that in that tone, and I go into control mode, really I have no control. Because control is me. How do I move when nothing moves? How do I show up when you're not showing up? How do I show up in life when life is lifing? I control me. I deal with my emotions. I feel my way through this. I don't have to project that onto anybody. And then now I'm making little me's everywhere because anyone I suck in that plugs into me, they get me and they become me. Because we can teach what we know, but we create who we are. That's all I'm saying.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. We shall pause there as she just read me all of my rights.
I love you.
But we're going to continue. We got another session coming up. Please comment. It's getting heavy. It's just,
I like it. It's getting warm in here.
I'm on her couch. And it is really exciting because I believe we are revealing a lot. We are feeling a lot so we can heal a lot. And that's the whole purpose of Counsel Culture. And, this is a platform that's going to continue to grow because of amazing individuals like you. So I thank you for being here, but we ain't done.
We ain't done. And I got to say this as we end. Hold on, Nick.
Yes, we got another session,
Your
Doc.
Emotional intelligence is literally growing and growing right in front of me because I feel you like, and you sitting in these emotions. You're like, nah, we finna choose the emotion I want to feel. We're going to choose how I want to produce. And for that, I just want to say I'm proud of you because I'm observing it and I'm seeing it. And I think it's amazing. I love you for it.
It's working. It's working in real time. Love you back. And we will be back with another session with the one and only Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. It's Counsel Culture.